Good morning, a bright and sunny day here in UK, Mothering Sunday. So today I'm going to spend a little bit of time on mothers because I don't know, it's a Mother's Day and lots of people are celebrating mothers, but there are so many people that are not. I don't, you know me, I don't like denying things as they are. I'm not one of these people that goes around making things different. I know, you know what I mean. I mean, if you're feeling miserable, you may as well feel miserable. And I think it's part of the process. I'm a very Pleiadian lady, as you know, and I think we have to be in touch with our feelings, you know. And today is a sad day for me, very sad day, and for lots of people. Some women can't be mothers. Some people have lost a child. Some people, you know, there are all sorts of. And look at the world. So many families fleeing, kids being lost and so forth. And I'm feeling really strong about this today because I've woken up with nothing. Now, I had a daughter. I'm wearing purple. This is kind of a mourning day for me, and it is a sad day because I have lost her. I lost her, and I think it's worse to lose somebody who's still here than it is to sort of have, you know, I can't say it's worse, but it's a difficult thing. The person's still around, they're still alive, but they don't want you. You can't get in touch with them and so forth. You can't put your arguments forward. It's a very, very uncertain situation, and I'm sure it is for lots of people. I called this video Mother's Tears, but of course fathers and sons as well. Lots of unhappiness, you know, families turn against each other. And of course in the Bible it says, Matthew says, and daughter will leave mother. It's been forecast that families will split apart, one will be taken, one will leave, sons and daughters, and da da da. It's a time of breaking of heart. And I don't know the full story. It's probably because everyone's changing into the higher dimensions. Not everyone wants to go. So it's a question of really accepting the way things are, and if someone wants to leave, they want to leave. I mean, I spent a lot of, you know, when I had my daughter, I was in a very difficult marriage, going through a lot of emotional trauma. Really, I shouldn't have had a child, I suppose. But there's the karmic thing, and I think she came perhaps to help me, I don't know. But when she was born, I looked into her eyes and I was swimming. I knew her, immediately I knew her. But it was a very difficult relationship from the start. I mean, I'm an astrologer, as you know, and when you put birth charts together and you see what the friction is, you might as well give up. I mean, it's been a karmic thing for both of us. It's been a nightmare. And really, it had to be. It had to be, not only for her sake, but for mine. Because I suppose she was my only child, but she was my life, you know, and I wouldn't say I lived my life through her. I was a very good mother. I never pushed her into anything. I never expected anything from her. What she did was her own decisions always. But she was a very insular sort of child and wouldn't share things with me. So it's not anyone's fault exactly, but I did feel that there wasn't a closeness, there wasn't a sharing, there wasn't a communication. The whole family was very, very strange. So she's got a family now with a daughter, and that's her choice. I have to accept that. But I woke up this morning thinking it's Mother's Day. I haven't got a card or flowers or a phone call, email, as though I don't exist. I think that's very sad because a mother gives her, well, most mothers give their utmost, don't they? No matter what the situation, you give your utmost. Well, I did. I mean, I stayed with her father so that she could get to university, and I was told if I stayed, I would become ill, and my mission in this life as God, the Spirit, wouldn't be there, and that's what's happened. Although I don't quite know, they'll find something else for me to do. But it did feel that I stayed too long. When I left eventually, when she was going to university, I thought that was a good time to go. Then I was already unwell and I hadn't got the money or the health to start a new life. I'm sure she knows this, and maybe she feels guilty about it. I don't know. Because she's not communicating with me, it's all guesswork, and it's probably nothing to do with anything. It's just that she's fed up with me. I don't think she likes me. And you know, this happens. You can love your family, but you don't like them necessarily, do you? So anyway, I've got a little poem here. Well, I hope I don't think you'll mind me reading it out to you. It's from the prophet Kahlil Gibran. You may have heard of him. And there's a whole, he was a living prophet, and he's written little sort of bits about different things like marriage and this and that, and this one is about children. I think I do want to read it out because it's helped me this morning. I think perhaps I'm doing this video to help me with my grief, because when you share it with somebody, it does help. And I know there are people out there that are perhaps going through a similar thing. So sharing is healing, isn't it? You know? So it starts off here. And a woman who held a babe against her bosom said, "Speak to us of children. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, they belong not to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot visit, not even in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes backward, nor tarries with yesterday. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth." That's lovely, isn't it? Really lovely. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, yet they belong not to you. We are living in difficult times, aren't we? Don't you think? And I know from experience how hard it is to let someone go. They say let them go, not just daughters, but husbands and wives and lovers, and because, well, we are human beings and we need companionship. We tend to choose the wrong ones, unfortunately, or we choose ones that teach us something. I mean, my daughter, I feel quite cheerful having read that out. It's so true, and it's helped me to see things in a different perspective, because I can be very possessive and very clingy and very emotional. I have changed a lot. In fact, I just had a reading online. I've been through a huge transformation. But I'm still lonely, you can go through all the transformations you like, can't you? But at the end of the day, you're still in your body with your feelings, your emotions, your experiences, and you can change them all you like. But at the end of the day, you're still you. You have a personality, and we're allowed to have that. I think, we're allowed to have this part of us that will always struggle. But that's the beauty of it, isn't it? I think I found this. The last video, I had quite a profound understanding of myself, that I felt I was okay, despite the wrinkles. It's a struggle, isn't it? It's a struggle. But my daughter and I she went to university. She went to university at the same time I left my husband. I mistimed it rather, and she was the year out with her A-levels and so forth. And I had to find a flat, which is another story altogether. I've written a book about that. I left with just a suitcase and a plant into a horrible furnished flat. She went on to university. Now, I don't know if that was the time that she really pulled away from me. You can't say there was a specific time, but she was 18 then. And I can remember she used to visit occasionally, not very often because she went to uni away from me, and she used to come to visit. And I can remember we were going around a bookshop and I saw a book about how to look after your mother or something like that in the psychology department. And she looked at me and she said, "Mum, I know how to handle you." And she always has, and I haven't always seen it because she's a doctor of psychology, a very, very clever girl in her field, but unfortunately not with me. And I think I've gone along with it. I've, keep the peace. I've made allowances. I've chased all over the countryside, rescuing her, taking her on holidays, doing this, doing that. And as God said, "Thou shalt have no one but me." And I realised that not so long ago, that she was my goddess, if you like. And I had to put her to one side because she's who she is, and vastly different to me. We are very opposite. I don't know. I think I must love her. Of course I must love her. I don't know. Love's a funny thing, isn't it? And we love in different ways, different people. I think I'm still concerned about her. Recently, I had a call in spirit that she was unhappy. So I sent her an email with a little prayer in, and I think that helped. But that's what I have to do. Love your enemies. You have to. You just can't. Well, everyone's different, and for me, that's the only thing I can really do, is to still go on caring from a distance. I don't know whether I will ever see her again. She lives the other side of the world to me, and she's got a little girl, well, who's growing up now, and maybe I'll die before then. I don't know. It's all very tricky, isn't it? So anyway, on that note, I won't go on too long because I've been through hell this last few days. I was going to do a video about a very strange experience in a bookshop. I'm not sure it would mix actually, and perhaps it's not time because it's 10 minutes now. But I did have a very strange experience with a man in a bookshop that said he was going to said he might be able to sell some of my books. You can imagine, hundreds of them. I thought, let's get rid. I will tell the story. So I left. He wasn't there, so I left it with the shop next door who left it and gave it to him. And I went in yesterday, Friday, to find, to see if it was okay. Was he interested? He was a different person. I wouldn't say he attacked me, but he was very strange. And the book I took in, I put it on the shelf now. It was a very expensive book, probably about £25–30 in its day, about astrology. Fantastic book. And he had it in his arms, and he was tearing me apart. It wasn't worth anything. He wouldn't give me anything for it. I couldn't sell it on Amazon. On and on and on. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, what is this man up to? What's the matter? So I left under a bit of a cloud, and driving home I felt very ill. I felt exhausted. I had to go lie down when I got back. And I thought, what is going on? I thought, he's angry. He is not into the spiritual stuff. He's a man with a man's head. I think he said he was a mathematician. And this book on astrology was a totally alien thing to him. And he was angry with me. I find this a lot with people. They reject this stuff without looking at it. They're frightened. That's what it is, I think. So that was Friday, and I haven't got over it yet. So this morning I woke up feeling very fragile. This is the last straw with my daughter. I was expecting it, to be honest. I didn't get a Christmas present or a Christmas card, so I thought the rot has set. And I haven't written, I haven't questioned it, I've just left it. Because if I start it up again, add fuel to the flames, it will only cause an upset. So I've got to accept that's the way it is. But sitting here on my own, a beautiful sunny day, and not really well enough to go out and get myself some flowers. Oh. I did my cards. I got the bat in my medicine cards. This is a very dark time for me. So just sharing it with you. I know some of you appreciate me, and just sharing it helps. So thank you, dear ones. And mothers or mothers-to-be, It's a difficult time. It's never easy being a mother. I mean, she's a mother. My daughter's a mother. So that's another story, isn't it? So, it has to be. Someone's got to have the kids, and some mothers are very lucky. They get on really well with their daughters or sons. I think a son might have been better. I don't know. I only had one. One was enough for me. I shouldn't have had children, really. I don't think it's in my psyche to have children, but she did come, and she was there, and I was always there for her. So I guess we paid the price. There was a debt to pay, maybe. Who knows, but it's completed. And as Jesus once said, it is finished. On that note, take care, dear ones.